Welcome back to Inuyasha Anime Review, Part 12. This one I'm reviewing episodes 93 through 101. Most of these episodes, I would say almost all of them, except for two, are all standalone episodes. First up, the mysterious lecherous monk. Yes, there is another Moroku running around, and Moroku is being accused of stuff that he actually didn't really do. Yep, and apparently this verse is fake Moroku. It's also very popular with the ladies. Yeah, they actually find out really easily who it is thanks to one village holding a bunch of leaves. It's the raccoon. It's Hanchin. He's one because he's a shapeshifter. He's the one behind the imposter Moroku stuff. And well, he gets mad at him. Of course, he beats the crap out of him for impersonating him. He's like, "Hey, what did you think you get with the ladies?" And he'll basically try to use this thing to woo Sango. Doesn't go very well, and basically just run off, and that's pretty much it. Odd episode to say the least. Next, you have the Sacred Jewel Maker. This one, for some reason, I'm not sure why this is. Sunrise decided to reuse two character designs in this one. Yes, and here's the thing. It's never mentioned in the story. Like, there's actually one character who looks almost exactly like the fake water god. Yes, and here's the thing. The characters never bring this up at all, despite the fact this he looks like him. As a matter of fact, he uses the same weapon as this guy, though with different color. This one's actually more silver and instead of gold like he was in the canon episode. Some people theorize that there's a couple theories wrong with this character, that he's in the same species, and the fact that, well, the other one is that Sunrise reuses character design. The other, of course, it was another thing that reminded me of another episode involving the Toad from episode, I believe it was episode 8. Yes. There's also they introduce another hybrid, and they're a half human, half demon character. Yeah, it's not revealed to part 2. Now, the episode started off with showing off the woman who actually created the Sacred Jewel. Yeah, they go back to the cave they show way back. I think it was in season... If I remember, I think it was early season 2 when they showed this off. When they went back to Sango's village. It may have been season 1 was like not long after. They showed like... They showed the stalagmite of the character. Of the actual Sacred Jewel Maker. Yes, and then of course you have... You watch come across a guy named Inzamaru, who apparently is a scholar, and apparently he's a priest. That's kind of what Kagome describes him as, the way he describes it. And he over-explains way too much stuff. I got a hand to his voice actor. It seems like he just basically had a pretty good time voicing the character. Also, in case you're wondering, the guy who's the redesign of the fake water god is the same voice actor as the other character. Yes. Yes, it is. And we also have the Toad Demon shows up, and once again, we have a Toad Demon who possesses a human. And apparently he's like one of the village. Apparently this is village, these other demons, and this guy, this fake water god guy. By the way, like all the characters in here are killed by Inuyasha so easily. Heck, even the Toad Demon is killed by him. Because they remember, oh yeah, Toad's weak against fire. But they go, hey, did we kill you already? I mean, at least remember that. The fake water guy, apparently they forgot they even met this guy. Yep. Oh yeah, and it's revealed that the half demon, well they revealed this in part 2, he's also apparently, when he shapeshifts, his demon form is that he looks like a freaking Minotaur. Yeah, he looks like the Minotaur. The more demonic version of the Minotaur. They call it a bull demon, but it's a freaking Minotaur. Look pretty much the same to me. Yeah, how this guy dies is the stupidest way I've seen a character die. He got killed by his own creation. This guy created a bunch of fake Shukan jewels just so he can figure out a way to create an actual Shukan jewel just so he can wish away his demon state. That was the whole purpose of this. It was an interesting little two-parter, and, well, doesn't really much to it. Next up, Jockin falls ill. Yep. Basically, in this one, we have pretty much you have Shishimaru, Jacken, and Ren just walking through the forest looking for Naraku. They come across these insects, which you refer to by the Sentru, I think that's the way he pronounces them. And so he goes, "Hey, Jacken, go find the nest and destroy it." And he's like, "Okay." And of course, Ren with him because of course she did. And of course, Jacken knew that if anything happened to Ren, he would get punished. So he protected her from basically a couple stingers, which he got into his arm. And Ren went to go fight. Now, this basically has the return of Jinenshi, the giant half demon who popped up in an early episode of. He popped up in seasons. He popped up in, I believe it was the previous season of the show. It was during a period of time when Inuyasha's sword was destroyed, when it was broken by another demon. That's when he showed up as well. Yeah, it was during that period of time. And Jinenshi himself is actually absent from most of this. He spends most of the time hiding at the covers because he's in his human form. We don't see what his human form actually looks like. It's interesting they brought back this character for Phil episode. It's nice, still have a problem with it. He doesn't play much of a role at all, aside points to Ren to a location, finds a cure for poison. And she goes find it. And she goes with the two-headed demon that's basically kind of like a horse to them, which he treats perfectly fine. And then, of course, that demon protects Ren while she's getting the flowers, and she gets it, but she falls up, and she's saved by Shishimaru, who just happened to be in the area while looking for Naraku. At one point in the episode, you have Shishimaru and Inuyasha briefly clash. The reason? Because they kill a couple of poison insects, and of course, Shishimaru mistakenly believes that Inuyasha killed them. Despite the fact nobody bothers to investigate the fact that, hey, these two insects are missing stingers. Why doesn't anybody investigate this? Yeah, it goes absolutely nowhere. Though, Kagome does reveal to Shishimaru where they suspect Naraku is the Ox Valley. He's like, okay, I know where that is. Thank you. I'll spare you for now. And of course, then at that point, he went to go save Ren. And of course, he takes the cure for Jock and he eats it. And he gets perfectly cured. And he's very thankful for Ren for saving his life. And that's it. It's a pretty good episode. Yeah, here's the thing with this. It's called Kira. Now, the thing is, in the anime, the English pronounce the name as Kilala, the cat demon that's basically Songo's companion. But most of this episode, we have where apparently she ran away. Nope. Really didn't. Of course, at one point they reveal some certain things, like apparently Inuyasha's are responsible for her bald spots that's on her, that apparently nobody brings up at all. This is the first time it's ever brought up in the series. Oh yeah, they mentioned, that G tested the wind scar on it, which I think was seen briefly once in like an actual canon episode, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, and it turns out though Killa didn't run away. She was asked by Miyoga to transport a watering stone. Oh yeah, and for some reason, Killa was wearing a scarf. I'm like, because I watched the previous episode, like, Killa wasn't wearing a scarf. I'm like, when the heck did she get this scarf? Yeah, this scarf appears this one episode only, because by the very next episode, the scarf is never seen again. It's not even mentioned at all. It's a minor plot point, but that's simply it. Yeah, and of course, Shippo basically is punished for lying, for not telling them where Killa really was. Next up is Kikyo and Kagome alone in a cave. Yeah, this was an interesting one because it seems as though for some reason Kikyo has forgotten about Kagome, despite the fact they actually met when she was first resurrected back in season 1. Apparently she completely forgot about her. Like, young lady, are you a priestess? Because here's the thing. In other episodes, Kikyo has mentioned Kagome's name to her personally. And pretty much this episode, we have Kagome basically wandering off on her own because she got in an argument with Inuyasha. So she just somehow just sees Kikyo, and of course she protects Kikyo the whole time, and actually is able to defeat this demon in this cave who apparently kills priestesses, thanks to Kikyo combining 3 shards into 1 and destroying the thing. And it's implied by the very next episode that The shards are back being like normal 3 shards, not like the One Piece it was. Yeah. As for if Kikyo is actually thankful for going and protecting her, it's not mentioned. She just gets out of the cave, and of course everybody goes off in the thing. And this episode is never brought up again. Next up is Koga and Sesshomaru Dangerous Encounter. This was a really interesting episode because it kind of the thing about this. Apparently the writers just forgot the fact that here's kind of the thing. Koga has seen Sesshomaru before in the Panther Davis arc. Yes, he has. This is actually late in the previous season for the show. Apparently the writers forgot that he actually met him. Yeah, this is one of those things in this episode they completely forgot this happened. Like, oh yeah, we know this guy named Sesshomaru. We've seen you before in the Panther Davis arc. You were there. Apparently people who wrote this basically completely forgot they've met before. Not face to face personally. They have seen each other. They do mention anything, but yes. They do eventually. Now here's the thing. Koga's, let's say, his men are trying to prevent the meeting between the two of them. Also, for some reason, the wolves they travel with, they disappear halfway through the episode for, like, no explained reason. They just completely disappear. What happened to them? Never explained, because I think next time these guys show up, the wolves return. And the thing is, the reason why they try to prevent the meeting is because they think that Koga and Sesshomaru might actually clash. Well, and the thing is, Ren knows that Koga's wolves are responsible for basically killing her village, and Sesshomaru let him go because he's basically not the priority, just basically Naraku. It's an interesting little episode, though it suffers from one of those things in these filler episodes where they completely forgot how happened before. Yep. Next episode is, of course, the 100th episode of the series, The Truth Behind the Nightmare, Battle of the Forest of Sorrow. Now, this is a case where they use the characters and they actually mention it. Like, hey, did we kill you already before? Yeah, and the guy's like, that was somebody else. That wasn't me. Despite the fact you look exactly like him. Yeah, apparently he says he was a bane of our tribe. Yep. And mostly put this episode is simply put a clip show of various things. Like when Roku's father died, Songu's father and her comrades being killed by a possessed Kohaku. For Kagome, this was a weird one. Apparently, she wakes up modern day and, like, in present day, and apparently Naraku gets the present day somehow. It's apparently he gets to be the Bone Eater as well. Something he actually never did in the show at all. And also, Inuyasha is able to help them out. Thanks. Well, one of the 3 encounters, here's kind of the thing. That did happen. The Shango one did happen in the series. Not the case of Moroku and Kagome. That was completely made up for the episode. And eventually the demon itself is actually defeated, and of course they are basically these dream sequences thanks to cocoons. My only reason why they did this is because it's a 100 episode series, so why not talk about the bad stuff of the series? I have no idea why. The final one is the snow from 7 years past. Yes, this involves a snow demon. First time they encounter one of these in the series. And also the first time in the series they've actually seen snow. Well, in the main series. They did see snow in the very first film, which I have reviewed part 10. But it's the first time in the main series they can actually encounter snow. And apparently the snow demon is actually her parents, her human parents, actually has a connection to Moroku's past. When this woman basically saved Moroku when he was much younger. And like he said, smoking hot woman. Oh my gosh, it's a good. And of course, he also somehow, like, apparently had asked to bear his children, like, because he has a thing for doing that. And he gets there, like, oh, there's a whole bunch of kids. Apparently these are mine somehow. He's probably thinking, are these kids mine? She's like, yeah, they are. And it turns out, nope, these are not kids at all. These are actually snow that she used to convince people that they're actually. And also, the illusionist basically casted that the place looks perfectly fine, when actually apparently the place burned down. How the place got like this it's never explained in the episode. And of course, well, Moroku is one who actually defeats the actual snow demon herself. As for the beast itself, well, that's a combination of Kagome, Inuyasha, and Moroku. Mostly. And of course, Sango as well. And of course, Shippo, everyone got a chance to beat the beast. And that was pretty much it. Yes. And of course, well, there's a thing where in this episode, not only Moroku, apparently when he's explained this in the past, apparently he gets slapped twice. First time because he mentioned how beautiful the woman was, and the second time, which was obvious the reason why he got slapped because he basically was grabbing Songo's butt. And apparently, the same thing happened with the couple who go mistakes for being Moroku and Songo, where he talks about how beautiful the snow woman is, and the woman ends up basically pinching his butt over it. Yeah, pinched his butt. Not smack him, pinched his butt. Yes, really hard. Yeah, but not much else to say about this one. Yep. Just basically typical stuff. I would say that like these episodes suffer from a problem or a couple of them where apparently they completely forgot they counted Skibber before, or terrible continuity. Like for example, one good example of this is the Sacred Jewel Maker. They remember the Toad Demon. They remember count 8 Toad Demon before and remember defeated. They completely forgot to they completely forgot they met the fake water guy before. Like it's though it's assumed it's the same species, but hey, didn't we meet you before and aren't you dead? Yeah. I'm kind of like, yeah, we had met you before. Yeah. The That was one thing I thought was really kind of wrong with Sacred Jewel Maker. It's a good story, but it had a weak ending to it. The mysterious luxurious monk. Yeah, as to who the person impersonating him was, it was so obvious that it was who the actual person was. Killa come home. Yeah, bring up stuff that nobody brought up in the series, like apparently Kagome, where she brought Killa to the well, and basically she left there for a few days for some reason, and Moroku basically used Killa to trick girls somehow. Yeah, Kikiko and Kagome in the cave. Good episode. Suffers from like one of those things of complete like the fact that apparently the writer of this episode apparently forgot continuity. The fact that Kikyo has met Kagome before. Yeah. And apparently the writer probably didn't even know they met before, but apparently they did. It's weird. 99, kind of the same thing, despite the fact these two Koga and Consumer have encountered before, but not to the crazy extent they do in this episode. 100 I thought was a pretty good episode. And the fact they had much better writing than the previous 3 episodes did. At least they pointed out that, hey, aren't you dead? And you're like, no, that wasn't me. That was somebody else. Yeah, at least that one. 101 was an interesting episode. And I thought that was actually pretty decent for what was what they did for it. Yeah, so that's it for this particular review. I've got a few more videos I'm going to do today. But next one I'm going to do is a Comic Corner. Yep. After that will be One Piece, and also going to be reviews new chapters for My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Boruto, basically do today, and hopefully they're part for Inuyasha. Okay, see you soon next view. Bye.